Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, working on my focus. And it's time for a review. Niki and the Dove, Instinct. These guys are a Swedish synth pop duo. This is their debut full-length album, which is a combination of tracks that are new and tracks that appeared on some EPs that have been previously released. Now, I've talked about Swedish pop music on this channel before. Swedish pop and rock artists have had a pretty long-standing history of creating music that has seen success in the American music scene, both mainstream and underground. And though Niki and the Dove hasn't completely taken off on this side of the pond as of right now, there's still reason to believe that it's possible. Cal is certainly excited at the prospect.
Niki and the Dove, I'm in love, love. Niki and the Dove, I'm in love.
It's good. It's good. Part of the reason I have faith in the Niki and the Dove duo is that I think what they're doing is just so universal. I mean, who doesn't like lushly colored production, passionate lead vocals, and catchy hooks? Except fuddy-duddies. These guys have the ability to kind of approach a song with a more simplistic approach or, a more experimental or dramatic approach and still kind of come out on top. Like the opener on here, Tomorrow. So many synth textures on that track, especially on the hook, which makes this track just such a grandiose introduction. Because the chorus on this thing is just an explosion, a jubilee of sounds. It's a rainbow orgasm in my ears. Going further left field is the track Gentle Roar, which is kind of a spot where the synthesizers take a bit of a break and you just get this really primal, fat, heavy rhythm matched up with all of these multi-track vocals, making it somewhat of a chant in a way. Again, Niki and the Dove, no problem, can do dramatic and strange, but they do straightforward really well too. Like with the track In Your Eyes, which to me just has really seductive qualities. The synths glisten like an ice sculpture, and it has a really danceable beat and groove to it that, for some reason, kind of reminds me of the 70s, maybe disco. It's not completely something that I can put my finger on, whether it is the rhythm itself or the chord progression, but it's there for me. But still, as Niki and the Dove is being pretty direct on this track, they are still finding ways to work in weird sounds and effects, like the bridge, which is very, very subtle and quiet, almost ambient, with all these twinkling acoustic sounds on it, and the intro also features those sounds as well. Niki and the Dove definitely approaches these different angles with some nice contrast between the verses and the choruses, and some decent hooks, but I'm not completely impressed with every one of their songs throughout. Some songs really strike me as having some pretty corny lyrics, most notably The Beach, and the tracks The Drummer and DJ Ease My Mind too. But the thing is, those two tracks take an overtly electro approach with the production, which kind of takes me out of the general musical theme of the other tracks, which makes this album as a whole feel kind of disjointed, because most of the time Niki and the Dove are switching back and forth between embracing the knife and Little Dragon as inspirations for their songs when it comes to production, vocal delivery, or songwriting style. And I feel like Niki and the Dove doesn't always apply these influences to the best of their abilities, like on the track Love to the Test, which is a pretty nice song when we're breaking down melody and lyrics. It's kind of a tender ballad, but vocally it's delivered with this wailing Karen Dreer Anderson-esque vocal style, and I'm not really sure it fits the theme of the song. So really that's kind of the only other major thing I can fault this LP on. It doesn't really come forward with its own sound or direction. If you've already heard The Knife, Little Dragon, or even that I Am I Who Am I album that dropped earlier this year, I'm not completely sure this album is going to bring anything new to you. Maybe there are poppier moments here and there. Maybe there are moments that feel a little more lush, but it's not like the songwriting was so memorable and the ambition was so immense that I was consistently impressed with this LP. Especially around the last third of this album, where I think Niki and the Dove pretty much stopped adding variety. It's actually kind of weird. I feel like the production on that last third of this LP is kind of different too. It feels less lush and colorful than the 9 or so songs that come before it. It's kind of like listening to an entirely different release that was just tagged on to the back end of this thing. I know for the most part this album is just a culmination of tracks that pre-existed this release, but I don't really feel like that should be so apparent that it kind of ruins the flow of the album. So I'm kind of feeling a light to decent 6 on this LP. What did you guys think of it? Did you love it? Hate it? Why? And what should I review next? Remember, the good comment and the great rate, but only the strong subscribe. Right? Right. Anthony Fantano, Niki and the Dove, forever.